Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Victorian Cowboy here, bringing you a game as Brand in the middle lane. Hope everyone's having a great 3-day weekend this weekend. So, this is a team builder game, and I just realized as we were loading in that we don't have an AD carry. We've got a Gnar in the top lane, we've got a Braum and a Taric in the bottom lane, and then we've got a Wukong jungle. So it's going to be really strange because they do have a traditional team on their side with a Kalista and Karma bottom lane, a Malzahar mid, a Rengar top lane, and then a Kayle jungle. So the only one that's a little odd with them is the Kayle jungle, which I haven't seen as regularly. Anyway, we're going to get our Q first, our Seer, just to give us that poking ability. And then we're going to level up our Pillar of Flame because that's where a lot of our damage comes from. And it's nice to remember that on Brand, your passive is Blaze, and it essentially counts as a form of Ignite. So, whereas Ignite is your summoner's spell and it deals damage over time, so does any of your abilities a hit. And then each one of the abilities, if the target is a Blaze, has some perks. So your Ultimate Pyroclasm prioritizes champions for the bounces, Conflagration spreads to nearby enemies, Blaze just does more damage, and anyone who is hit by Seer while they're ablaze, they're stunned for 2 seconds. So that's quite a long stun, but it is really hard to set up. And I just realized that the minions are here and I'm not here. So that's my bad. Oh, and then he ran. But it's okay because Malzahar missed all but one of them as well, so I don't feel too bad for forgetting that. Although it was not the most auspicious start. So we're going to try and make up for that. Work on the last hitting a bit. Make sure that we do in fact get the kills. Ooh. And avoid getting silenced quite so much. But we'll just hit him with that. Get a little poke damage done on him. Oh, and we missed that minion. But get some poke damage onto him. You know, do something, because it looks like he started same as me. Ow. But, so he's got the Doran's Ring and the 2 health pots. So, traditional starts from both of us. And now we're just focusing on... Ooh, the Gnar and the Rengar ended each other. But they ended up getting the first blood, so that's unfortunate. That's a little more universal gold for them. So we're just going to wait and try and last hit this. And we got the big minion, so that's good. Don't know where he is. Oh, I misplayed that one. So we're just going to sit here and wait for the last hit. Well, we're not last hitting anything this time. So our farm is suffering currently, but shouldn't be too much of a problem as long as we just make sure we poke him down whenever we get the opportunity and don't take too much poke from him. We're both sitting at level 3, and I've started leveling up my Q again rather than getting Conflagration, though at some point I should get Conflagration due to the fact of its just sheer ability. I don't have to try and aim it. I can just click on a target, and lo and behold, they take the damage. Ooh. Though it appears that he wants to play a little rough, so I'm not entirely thrilled by his aggressiveness. I'd rather we just both sit here and have a nice little bit of farm in the mid lane. Of course, I say that, and I wouldn't be able to get any of it anyhow. Ooh, that hurt. But I am still alive, although, albeit I have to go back and miss yet another cannon creep. But I took him down rather drastically as well, so it's not the worst thing. So we're going to start into a Morellonomicon, get that mana to give us some lane presence, allow us to stay there for a while longer, and hopefully we can get back here He's probably going back now as well, because although he chugged a pot, it's just not going to be enough. We did manage to lay a major beating on him. It's just he managed to hit more of his shots than we did, which is unfortunate. Let's see if I was a little late on sniping that minion. But it's okay. We're sitting at 16 compared to his 20. So we should be able to catch up as long as we stop missing him. But as you can see, well, now we're at 20, so we're even again. So that gives us a little bit of an advantage, because we'll be able to catch up now while he's still out of lane. Don't know where exactly he went. So best to let people know that he is in fact gone. And then we're going to push this into tower. Try to get a little bit of early tower damage done on him. Because if he's not going to be in lane, we're going to want to take advantage of that fact. Now he's coming back though, so we're going to just ease off, get the experience, try to get the minions we can. Keep him under tower though, because the longer he is trying to fight under tower, the better chance we will have of taking an advantage over him. And now, since he's managed to clear the wave, we're going to just back up a little bit. Ooh. And my seer went off to the side there. Oh, now he's finally bringing out his portal. So we're just going to try and clear this up a little bit. Ooh, I still don't do quite as much damage as I would like. Not entirely sure why he threw a ward down there, but we'll just take the extra gold because apparently he's drunk. Well, you know, that may be a good thing for us, but not necessarily the best thing for him. I wasn't expecting him to ult, nor our Wukong to go quite that close to him. Also, I'm not super fast, so Wukong going that ham was very unfortunate. But still, because he can do such damage to me, I didn't really want to push the envelope, because it just wasn't necessarily worth having Malzahar get the kill. Ooh. And now I'm going to take some tower aggro. Going to try and clear this wave as quickly as I can and go back. Because the longer I stay here, the less I'm going to actually get done. But now I should be able to go back. I still haven't seen the jungler. So, has anybody... Nope, Kayle hasn't shown her face yet. So we'll just have to see what's going to happen with the Kayle that's floating around out there. Hopefully she's in the game and not a DC, but she may be waiting until she farms to level 6, just so that way when she comes in, she has her ult available, which makes you invulnerable for a number of seconds. Oh. I'm going to assume he went down there to ward. That would make the most sense. And again, I'm struggling on the end of trying to clean this up, but once again, I just want to sit and farm for a while. Oh, there's the Kayle. She's finally shown up. Ooh. So she was there. I wasn't even that far out from my tower, so that is unfortunate. But seeing as he was warding bot, I should have known they had vision top somehow. And with the Wukong who had just come in, I'm just not sure what I expected there. Really and truly. Ooh, that's a lot of tower damage there. So that's not exactly the best thing. What does Kayle have? Oh, Kayle's got the Devourer stock his blade too. So that's going to be bad. But they've probably recalled, I don't know where Kayle is, but now they've got a lot more room to come in and gank me, which is not exactly what I want to have. Oh. And so, as you can see, I'm not really playing the greatest I could because of how much CS I'm missing. But we're going to just sit down, we're going to calm ourselves down, because what happens is sometimes you get into a game, you have a bad game, and you just get in what's known in the sporting world as quicksand. So the key here is to just calm down and play the game our way, don't play it their way. So calm down, just start last hitting, getting what we need. Ooh, Malzahar hurts. Oh, he's got spell pen boots already. I haven't gotten boots. So that's something that I probably should look into eventually. But we're just going to back off a bit. We're going to come up here, we're going to drop our ward off. Because I haven't used my trinket ward all game. Get the little, Poro up there. Pick up some minions now. Wait a bit. Pick up the siege minion. Oh, the silence. The silence. And the ult. He flashed for it though. So he burned both his flash and his ult. Had I known he was going to flash, I probably would have flashed away. Just because Malzahar's suppressive ult is just so annoying when it comes to trying to do anything in lane. So now he's missing again. He's probably gone back to buy. Not exactly the greatest stats. 60 minions to his... Actually, we've got 58. He's only got 51. But he does have 2 kills and 1 assist on us. So that's not exactly great. So we're just going to freeze this out a little bit. It's going to naturally push because instead of freezing the lane, our Wukong was just sitting there attacking minions. So really, when you're a jungler, what you want to do is you want to freeze the lane so that you absorb the experience and the minions aren't lost, but at the same time you don't want to just steal the minions from your laner who needs it. And right now, because I'm doing so poorly, I really do need it. There are times where you want to take anything you can get. And as you can see, I'm just not comboing well today at all. So we're pushed back out here. We're going to just try and last hit everything we can. But being a mage, last hitting without a spell tends to be a really acquired skill, as you can tell. Now then, the other problem is fighting a Malzahar. He's got a silence. Okay, that works for me. So making a bit of a comeback. I lucked out because I was going to go place a ward. I didn't even think Kayle was going to be coming in. So hopefully we can get this tower down here. That's going to be our goal anyway. Oh, now we're going to back up. Take out some of these guys a bit. And now that we've got that back up, we're going to take this down. And then, well, Is the jungler? They're up again, but we'll see. Once we see him, that would be a good instance to know when to fall back. But see, I have blue buff, so with blue buff, I'm very tempted to stay in lane, but it's probably best to fall back and not fight that, especially with 2,000 gold. Anything I can get to give me the advantage now is really what I should be looking into. Because although, yes, we won that last fight, it was not the prettiest fight to be in. And because of that, it's best to go back, get some things that may give me the one-up when I'm fighting 2 or 3 of them. Though my Pyroclasm is up again, so that'll be nice. Now, what happened though is because I threw it onto Kayle and she died so quickly, it only bounced once. So it would be nicest to get it to bounce 5 times, because each bounce it does nearly 200 damage. So, the Malzahar is now missing. So that's something to keep in mind, because I don't want to really find a Malzahar come up behind me. That would just be the bad day special. So we're going to run and drop our ward down here so we can see. They're probably taking dragon in point of fact.
Your turret has been destroyed. An ally has been slain.
Yep, dragon's gone. So they got their first dragon. That's where Malzahar ended up. I should have thought of that sooner, seeing him go down like that, or up like that. But they've only got the first dragon, so hopefully ooh. He made the mistake of coming in on me like that. We're going to flash out of here because Kayle tends to be someone who you can't just burst down, because against burst mages, her ult is really nice because your abilities still go off. They just don't do anything. But as you can see, our lanes are all struggling here, which not the greatest, but if we can just keep mid pushing, we're going to have a much better time, because mid lane being the shortest lane means that we can just keep pressure on their base. So if we can get the mid inhibitor, ooh, but we're out of mana, the blue buff wore off. So we're going to get out of here, because without blue buff, we're not going to be able to do a whole lot against him, because we only have 87 attack damage, which really isn't all that much. So we're just going to go B and see what we can pick up now. Looks like we'll be able to pick up hunting guys, working our way towards a Spirit Visage. We're going to want a death cap at some point too. Getting a death cap is going to be really helpful. Oh, no, they got that handled. Oh, so something to notice, they've added these nifty little gates in both the bases. And those gates allow you some alternate ideas for base defense. So if we get to that point and nobody surrenders, where teams are running in and out of their bases trying to do something useful, we'll have to see how well those work. I haven't actually been in a game yet where that was really something that needed to be utilized. I've used them running in and out of the jungle before. Ooh, and now we're getting some wave clear and some CS. Oh, and Rengar is now here. He's the same level as me. And he's just going to clean up those minions. So I don't know really if I want to go in on that. We'll have to just see. Well, now he's left us. So we'll just have to see what's going to happen with this lane. Oh. Oh, yep. I was too far pushed and I didn't have anybody around. Wukong's just in his jungle doing some work. He's a level behind their Kale. Actually, our team is behind their team. Of course, it shouldn't be a question of it because we've got two tanks in the bottom lane. So I don't know what they were hoping to achieve by being tanks there. They can't really do a whole lot, though it looks like they might be able to. Oh, the Callista ult, that was a good one, saved her. But I don't really grasp quite what they're trying to do there. And looks like we got invaded and the Kale really just wreaked havoc on our Wukong, who has been playing a little too aggressive lately. So we're just going to push him back from here. Our ult is back up, so that'll give us edge if we need one. But we're going to just try to keep fighting here, see what we can accomplish while still being... Now we should be chugging some of these pots though. Ooh, that hurts. So we got 2 pots going. Is Wukong coming in? Oh, he just managed to get more damage done on me. But he got smited, so that's good. What does he have? So he's similar build to mine, and I'm just going to upgrade my boots because right now with how low my tower is, the faster I can get there the better. But his build similar to mine, except for I've got a Haunting Guise going into a Liandry's, whereas he's going straight for a death or what's it called? A Void Staff or a Death Cap possibly. But those guys, they just don't have damage capabilities. I mean, yes, they're against squishies, but I'm not entirely sure what they're aiming to do with that team comp. But I'm going to come down here and see if I can help them because they've got Kale down here. And so our Wukong needs to get down here and do something productive. But right now, this is just going to...
Enemy killing spree.
See, and Wukong decided to go in instead of... Whoa. Yeah. So, best judge of what's happening here is they are fed. Like, they've just got done with a feast. Because of it, we're going to lose middle tower because I wanted to try and help bot tower. Although Nar's not going to be able to do anything. Their Kale is way more powerful. My buttons aren't working. Their Kale is way more powerful than our Wukong. Hands down, head and shoulders, he's above what we can do. And Braum just ran in and is going to die for it. So it's unfortunate that we didn't have a solid team comp, because with a more traditional comp, there's the potential of actually having a decent matchup in the bottom lane. Whereas right now, there's just no real way that we can match their damage output. What do you want help with? So Tariq wanted some help with that, but it was just, they're too powerful for us to really want to go out and fight that far away. In reality, we should be looking for a way to just hold up, get leveled up some more, and then try and do some damage to him. But right now, us just throwing ourselves at them is, quite frankly, not going to do anything productive for this game. Because we can't combat it. I mean, Kayle has all of her things she needs, and her Devourer enchantment is just so far above what we can do. Though that was a fight they should not have gotten into. I managed to get my ult off on them, so they only have Malzahar up, who should be easy pickings. Now then, we need somebody to defend the base and somebody to go out there and push a lane. The problem is, the only people we have who could possibly push right now, well, actually we only have two people up, the Gnar and the Taric, and Taric isn't exactly somebody who's known for his pushing ability. I mean, yes, Jungle Taric has become something of a thing recently, but even so, he can't really do anything because they just level up so fast, and he just doesn't have the damage against champion or against buildings. He might have it against champions, but there's just no way he can do anything productive at that point. Also, it would have been nice to get a blue from Wukong, but he's so far behind that I'm not even going to ask, just because he needs the farm. So I'm going to sit here and try and avoid getting killed by anything, which means I'm going to fall back because that Kayle, if she shows up, will just end me. But we are chunking them for a decent amount, so that is nice to know. Ooh. Gonna chug the health pot and just see what we can do. Ooh. But we aren't doing a decent job of avoiding damage, so that's going to be troublesome. Hopefully our 2.8 health regen is going to do something productive for us. Kayle's coming in from the bottom, and Kayle will just... Oh, yep, there's her ult. So, and then Rengar's going to come in. But we're going to throw the ult in there. Going to try and stun her, but it didn't do anything. I'm not sure whether something didn't go off or I just missed, but it got really hectic in that fight. So let's see if... Oh, that's not going to end well for Taric. That's an ace. And once again, Kayle's getting fed. So Kayle's really the one we need to focus down, but when she pops her ult, there's not a lot we can do about it. They don't really have a lot of magic resist built right now. There's not even an Athene's Unholy Grail on anyone. So, Gnar... they're yelling at Gnar to get tanky. What is he built? Well, he's having to make up for the lack of an AD carry, which makes it... I mean, I wouldn't blame him for going AD carry build, because we just need someone who can do something to combat the lack of our ADC. I'm not entirely sure what they were anticipating would happen with two support tanks bottom lane. It's kind of unfathomable. I mean, yes, they take forever to kill, so if you can get to the back lines, the squishies are really easy pickings, but still, as you can see, it's just not doing anything super productive. And we need to get a dragon here, which is already gone. So I would suggest we go down and take out the... Oh, are we going to wait in the death bush? Is there a reason to wait in the death bush? There's not really a need to go to the death bush. Realistically, our goal should be to take some fight to them. But right now we're just letting all the minions go, so our tower, we're losing on farm, we're losing on tower. But there's just no reason to... Okay, so we got him. Gonna see what we can do there. Gonna pop a ward there so we can see. Ooh. Really though, we had a numbers advantage on them, so the fact that we decided to run is unfortunate. So even our tanks aren't tanky enough to take on the Kayle. And of course Kayle is building mage. So she's got the mage capabilities, and our Taric has no AP. No AP whatsoever yet. Our Braum also has no AP. Or I mean, magic resist. So the fact that they don't have anything to combat Kayle's damage is really what's going to put us under. And the fact that they're saying, I need to build more tank. Brand doesn't build tank. Brand is a mage. So I'm not entirely sure what they expect to happen with this. But I'm going to continue building damage because otherwise we won't be able to kill them. Though we have caught Kayle out. So we're going to take her. But I got silenced in that fight. Which is unfortunate. Getting silenced there meant I died. So I might get an Abyssal Scepter after this, but still at the same time, we have no magic resist. I mean, I don't even see magic resist in the shoes. Oh, hold on. Wukong has a Banshee's Veil. So that's the magic resist our team has decided to go with. And really, they have some people who can do some serious work. Karma, Malzahar, and Kayle all do magic damage. So having magic resist would have been something really, really important to have. But instead, Taric, now he's getting some magic resist, which should have been something much higher on his list. But I digress. We can only do what we can do, so we're going to try and still do the damages that we need. I'm not entirely sure why we're hunting for people in the jungle though. Like, we don't need to fight them right now. What we need, well, that was not what I was expecting. She was just sitting there waiting for me. What we need though is we just need to be able to do some damage. And while Gnar does play better with some tankiness, because when he goes into Mega Gnar form, he needs to be our AD capabilities, because if he's not, we're going to be in for very, very poor team fights. And right here, he shouldn't be chasing them. We need to just push the wave up, because if we have minion advantage on them, we're going to have a much easier time doing, taking towers and fighting them, because the minions, although not super powerful, especially late game, the minions still grant us the tactical advantage of giving us some extra damage. Why are we hiding in the bush? Again, in the bush, all Malzahar has to do is hit us once, and we are done for.
Your turret has been destroyed.
Also, they've left bottom lane, and now bottom lane is just falling as though it's Dragon to... Oh, no. They are taking... they did take Baron. So us standing there wasn't exactly the greatest idea. But we're going to throw our ult in and hit them as much as we can. But we waited there so long, there was really no point to it. So, for anyone looking at things in this game, never run a Braum Taric bottom lane. I think that is what we have learned here, is a Braum Taric bottom lane just does not do it for any team. Anyways, unfortunate matchup, but still a fun game. We had some good things, we did some bad things. Hopefully you can learn from it if you need to, and hopefully you enjoyed it. So anyway, this is Victorian Cowboy. Remember to subscribe and rate if you liked it, and have a good one.